All right, guys, we are officially live, and we got the one and only Tyler from Reco Equipment. How you doing today, buddy?
Hey, good. How are y'all doing?
So first off, I guess we probably need to explain. We probably need to explain who you are. You've been in a few videos. We actually met at the ICU EE show, right?
Yes.
And
yeah, that was.
Oh my goodness, I can't remember what's the guy's name. Was it Tim, the excavator soccer guy?
Oh, what a terrible question to start with, but I believe so. Yes. Yeah.
Well, he's actually made 2 videos now too.
I say he's in the most recent one that you posted.
Yeah. So, hey guys, I see everybody commenting on here. We'll get to you in a minute, I promise. But I want to give a chance to explain who Tyler is. So I met Tyler at the Hyundai booth in Louisville, which was back in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So no, it was hot.
I told you at that time I was shopping for a machine, and then you were also in the video. I know you made at least one appearance in the video whenever we were. I come up and visit you there at the dealership whenever I was doing the shopping. And then if you guys watched that video, you know that our meetings didn't go quite as planned. They were really close, but not quite as planned. But we got to give Tyler a lot of credit because you pretty much masterminded, you and Reco Equipment and Susan from Hyundai and a few others, you guys masterminded the allowing me to get a machine to demo and video for these guys. So be sure you give Tyler a lot of thanks for that, because he's pretty much the one that was able to push this through for us. And man, what an opportunity. It's been awesome. I can't thank you guys enough. It's been.
Yeah, no, you're welcome. It's been with being kind of relatively new to the company and to the industry. It's been quite the experience. It's really cool. I've got to talk quite a bit to Hyundai and obviously get to know you and some of the folks that you're affiliated with. So no, it's been great.
Don't feel bad. I'm pretty new to YouTube too. We're figuring this out together.
Yeah, no joke.
It's like the blind leading the blind. You never know where we're going to end up at. But well, as you guys know, barring circumstances, I mean, I think I explained it pretty well in the video. It just come down to options and price was the 2 determining factors, not the brand or the dealership. I know stretches the imagination, but fortunately we were able to maintain the relationship, and Tyler and the guys at Hyundai were able to get me a machine to demo. It's been absolutely awesome. So at this point, we've got right at 30 hours on it. And I got, you've got a sneak peek. You've been privileged to see some of the videos that have come out of it. I believe we're going to have 6 of them in total. And Tyler is coming down to visit Friday. We're going to maintain our 6 feet. We're going to social distance and do everything we're supposed to. But Tyler's coming down to visit Friday, and we're going to do, I'm comfortable enough now with the Hyundai machine that we're going to do a comparison video of the likes and dislikes and what one machine does better than the other or vice versa. And we want to make sure we're thorough in this. We want to make sure we cover everything. So we wanted to hop on here and get your guys' thoughts and opinions and questions and things you want us to cover, or anything you want us to hit on. So I see Captain Kleeman's on here today. He's the one that actually ran it for the first time. He got a couple hours in it today loading trucks out and stuff. So I'm going to start off, before this thing even started, videos by Al was asking about the hydraulics and the responsiveness of the hydraulics. And I'll hit on a few things here, and I'll let you jump in, Tyler. One thing I really like about the Hyundai machine is it's like putting on an old pair of shoes for me. And this is probably a little bit biased, but it operates in a similar fashion to my 120. I call it hydraulic timing. It just seems to do a few things. And then, I don't know, what did I run it for? I think I did 2 or 3 jobs. And we were talking one day about the swing. I told you I feel like the priority of the hydraulic oil may be a little bit off because it was jerky in the swing.
Right.
And man, you were on it. You nuts. You were on it. You sent me a couple things to change, and that's whenever I was impressed about the things that you can change to program it to how you operate. I feel like it's got a few more options than what the Volvo does. It's a little more open book. Right. On how a little bit more open book on how you can customize it. Does that make sense?
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
Because I can't remember, you sent me an email with 4 or 5 settings to change in the monitor, and it did make a difference. I mean, it took away a lot of the concerns. And I'm not going to lie, I can be a little bit picky when it comes to an excavator and how it operates. And I think anybody can if they spend that much time in the seat.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, I mean, the big one of the kind of going back through some of the notes that I had, one of the biggest things was that the machine was a little bit too fast, which is kind of a I guess to me, when you're swinging dirt and loading trucks or whatnot, that you would want it to be as fast as you could possibly get it, right, and obviously be efficient. But it was to the point where it was a little bit too fast. I guess operator comfort got to a point where it was out of whack.
Speed and ability to control have got to be a marriage. They got to be compatible with each other. Working Life up here wants to know if Hyundai makes any type of forestry machines. I know there's a guy on YouTube called Stump Jumper, and he runs a couple of shovel loggers. I think it's made by Hyundai.
Yeah, as far as I know right now, there's nothing specific to the actual forestry industry. There are a couple different attachments that we can work with, but nothing specific to that point right now with their newer line.
2 things.
Unless you're talking, go ahead, sir. I was just saying, unless you're talking about wheel loaders, then that kind of changes things up a little bit.
Farmer Chris, he's beating up on me. He says Cummins is a deal breaker. I'd like to inform Farmer Chris that the machine I have has a Perkins engine in it. Southern Dirt. So a little story here. He says his closest dealer is 2 hours away. Okay. Tyler, you're 3 hours from me.
Yes.
And full disclosure, we had a little issue with the machine at 3 o'clock on a Thursday, and it was fixed by 10 o'clock on a Friday. So I don't think the distance from the dealer is as big a deal as the dealer itself. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, most definitely. I'm trying to watch the comments at the same time, but
yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah, I know, no joke. When that the conversation when it comes down to how far the dealer is away, I mean that to me is, I guess, from working on the dealership side of things, that it's just something that I don't really see as an issue. Obviously, if something comes up, then it doesn't matter where you're at. We've flown guys down to Texas. I don't know, but usually anything because I cover from I-70 south down to the river, southern Indiana. And usually when I get, south of that Bloomington or Columbus area, that starts to become a concern. But we service everything from, Evansville, Clarksville. We have a new location that will be open sometime, hopefully next year, in Louisville.
I think that's going to help you guys out a lot in this area. Todd Reynolds, one thing I want to hit, Jared Digging Dirty Digging. Ease of daily checks and maintenance. I find it very simple. Serviceability of the machine, especially for being, is it a close radius? Is that what Hyundai calls it? I may have screwed that up in the video.
Yeah, more of like a compact radius.
Compact radius. Excuse me. But for a compact radius machine, I've been around a bunch of them here in the last 6-8 months between Shopping for One and Con Expo. It's going to be tough to beat. I mean, that's one thing I really like about Hyundai, and I've said it in all my videos, and I'll still say it to this day, is I really like their simplicity on engineering. I mean, they just don't overthink stuff. They put stuff where they think it needs to be. Todd Reynolds on here. I'm not for sure exactly where Todd Reynolds is located at, but I think he owns 9 or 10 Hyundai excavators. He's a big advocate for them.
Thanks, Todd. I appreciate that.
He's had several different brands, and I think for the money, he's always kind of come back to the Hyundai. He's really been a pretty big fan of them. Todd, I need to figure out where you're at. I always forget where you're at. So for you guys that don't know, if you maybe just hopped on here, Tyler's from Reco Equipment, and he's going to be coming down Friday, and we're going to be doing a comparison video between it and the Volvo 140 in Rhode Island. That's where Todd's from.
Rhode Island. Wow. Who's your dealer out in Rhode Island?
Now, Reco Equipment, what do you guys got? 20-something locations?
18 locations, 7 states.
18 locations, 7 states. And you kind of cover mostly in the Midwest, right?
Yeah. Indiana, Ohio, Kentucky, Michigan, Pennsylvania, Tennessee, and North Carolina. Soon to be South Carolina. I had Kentucky in there, right? Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, a big footprint. Still, a small town, I guess a smaller.
Yeah, I made the comment the other day. I almost feel bad. I'm pretty sure up to this point I've done nothing but cost Reco money. But they continue to be great to me. I don't think I've even bought a Coke from you guys or a Pepsi. Both Farmer Chris, I think we're out of hours on the Hyundai. I don't know if both machines are going to make it to the tile project. Hopefully, maybe. We'll see. I don't know how many hours Cleveland put on it today.
We'll have to talk about that Cummins comment. I'm kind of curious.
Well, okay, so Farmer Chris is the guy. He's the farmer I do a lot of work for.
Yeah.
And hey, Neil. So I've had really bad luck with Cummins engines, and he's got Cummins in his semi. So it's just a joke between us. We're always going back and forth, giving each other all the time. And I've been pretty dead set on not buying anything with a Cummins motor in it, which is really sad because Cummins headquarters is an hour and a half from me.
Yeah, not too far.
And I know they're good engines. I've just had bad luck with them. And I really the newer stuff. I shouldn't even have an opinion on because I haven't been exposed to it. Is right. The fairest way I had to put that. I seen one comment up here earlier. Hey, Bill, how are you? Was Tyler at Con Expo? Yes, Clapton Kleeman. You met Tyler at Con Expo.
Yeah, I think I bought you a pizza.
I think he was the only one that got the pizza because we all got
it. I think you think you were the only one I bought pizza for. I tried. Guess it's too quick.
Josh has a good question. Does Hyundai make their thumbs and brackets and couplers?
A lot of that stuff is some of the mini excavator stuff is being made kind of on their own in a way. We typically use I may get slapped for the comment, but I'm going to stick to one manufacturer. We typically use Workbrow for the majority of our stuff just because of their just the way that everything holds up. I think it's a great product and something that I'll usually quote from the get-go.
Von Heels. So probably the thing that I've been the most impressed with on this machine, hands down, and I think Captain Kleeman felt the same way, is the stability of it. This 145, I cannot prove it because my 120 is in pieces right now. But the stability of this 145, I am confident at this point is more stable than my 120. It's not quite as stable as the 140, but I wouldn't expect it to be. I mean, it's two totally different setups. But one thing I did notice today, and I'm going to have it in a video, is my buddy has a Kobelco, was it 138? It's an older Kobelco zero tail swing machine. Okay. And has a 42-inch bucket on it. And this machine was sitting in the exact same location he was loading trucks. Mm-hmm. And Matt had to be very careful loading over the side with that machine because it was a very tippy machine. Cleveland was loading trucks today. I never seen a track leave the ground. I mean, it just sat right there. Which with that and building that retaining wall and a few other jobs and the test I did with the weight, there's no doubt that the stability of that Hyundai machine is incredible for a close radius machine or however you want. Yeah, there's Captain Kleeman just commented. He kept moving farther and farther away from the truck to find the tipping point, but was impressed. Lots of reach and good control at the distance. It's incredible. I mean, I just thoroughly impressed with that. The other thing from sitting in the seat that hands down, I think they've got best in class is the visibility. We discussed this a little bit before we went live, but the cab does sit a little bit higher, but all the cowling and stuff down below you is lower. And you can actually look out the windows and not be dependent on your mirrors and your cameras to know what's going on around you. The visibility from the seat 360 is awesome. I mean, the Volvo's got awesome visibility in front of you and down to the right, but you got a lot of blind spots.
Yeah, I mean, to that point, so we, if anyone's down in Mike's area, one thing that I highly recommend is just hopping in the seat. If you get a chance to run it, I mean, fire it up and give it a shot. But just sit in the seat and turn to your right, and there's nothing. It's glass. Yeah. It's clear. You can see
the exact opposite of that. And hey, let's dig. What's up, buddy? Volvo fanboys in the house. We're in trouble now. One thing, and I don't want to pick on any other machines, but you sell another machine that is probably the exact opposite of that. I'll say it, the link belt machine. They got good visibility out the front, but if you go to look out the right behind you, you're staring at a wall. You can't see anything. And my Volvo machine is not bad. It's not near as good as my 120. But the Volvo ECRs, which is their zero tail swings, is probably pretty comparable to the link belts, to be honest with you.
Right.
And I'm sure if you get the hang of it, it'd be fine. But does Reco have a dealer in Western PA?
Yes. Western PA. Yeah, actually. My sheet. Hang on a second. I'll tell you exactly where it's at.
So, A&B Contractors, I've seen your pictures of your truck. Looks like you're getting it back together. Elite Earthworks, what's up, buddy? Hope you're dodging the storms over there. I seen where they were getting ready to. I seen where you're getting ready to hit you there. Farms, what's up, Brian?
In Western PA, it's Cranberry Township. We also have a Bobcat division that's kind of in Eastern Ohio and Western PA as well. So if you're a big Bobcat fan, can't do anything with Bobcat here in Indiana, but over there we are the actual Bobcat dealer. So
does that mean you sell Doosan over there?
Unfortunately, no. Or actually, fortunately, no. Whichever way.
Yeah, you got to be politically correct on here.
Yep. Nope, no Doosan, just Bobcat.
My buddy Matt, we call him, his company name is M&R Excavation because his ex-wife's name was Rhonda, but we call him Mr. Excavation because he's divorced now.
Well, he was the one that won the Golden Shovel, right?
Oh yeah, I'll bring that up, Tyler. Way to go. Well, that's because Captain Kleeman sabotaged me. He was trying to get it to where he was going to win, and then he ended up screwing us both out of the shovel, and it left the whole. It left the whole thing. But Todd bought a New Holland 80 dozer from the Cranberry PA dealer.
Yeah, nice. Thank you for that, by the way. That's actually where all of the big rigs for Reco, the majority of them are out of the Cranberry
really?
PA.
So would that be like central or home base for them?
Our home base is actually out of Belmont.
Okay.
Belmont, Ohio. That's
now,
where our
the
technical
dealer in Indianapolis where you work out of, it's been there for a good while though, correct?
Yes, it has. Newman equipment that was I want to say 15-ish years ago is what it used to be. And then Reco came through and bought out what was Newman equipment.
Um, Now you guys sell multiple brands there at the location. We don't have to go in detail about it, but Hyundai is just one of several brands that you guys service out of there. And I would say out of what it would be, the majority of your guys' business is material handling.
Correct. Yeah, scrap industry is kind of the majority of our business, and I mean, thankfully, Indianapolis is a massive branch with all of the scrap dealers that we take care of. Lee Bear is a huge huge part of our business, and then obviously kind of working with that. Hyundai has a couple different scrap specific loaders. I saw a comment on here earlier. I meant to say something about it. Sorry, I don't remember who it was. I'll go back through and see if I can message you. But it was something specific to something. Sorry. But yeah.
Does Hyundai have a proving grounds? Josh asked.
Not anything necessarily specific. There is they're one of their main offices is in Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And whenever we go down there for training, there is some land that we do a lot of our training at, which would be somewhat considered their proving grounds.
Now, if somebody was seriously interested, if Josh was seriously interested in a machine, I'll tell you there's a good chance he could probably get a demo, though, correct?
Yeah. Just, I mean, anybody that's interested that's somewhat out of our territory, you can go to Hyundai Construction Equipment America's website, and you can look up the dealer, kind of type in your city, and it'll tell you what your closest dealer is. And if you need any help with that, at the end of your videos will be my phone number. Yeah. Text me, call me, whatever, and I'll make sure we get you set up with whoever your closest dealer is.
Joy, I met Joy Captain Kleeman met Joy out in Vegas, getting ready to buy 6 cats. Is that excavators, or are you getting something else? I want to touch on something else here. Todd Reynolds is talking about stump jumper. I'm going to enroll this in with another comment. Somebody asked how well the Hyundai machine would hold up in the woods as far as clearing and demo work. And I know Stump Jumper has a Hyundai excavator he's running in the woods currently. He's got to be pretty close to your Cranberry store, I think.
That's what I'm seeing here.
Yeah, if you ever get over on Stump Jumper's channel, he does have some pretty good videos of that machine he's got. I have done, I think the first video you guys will see was actually, I'd consider it a clearing job. We were taking trees out. The only thing that got damaged was my GoPro. But I would have no concerns at all taking that machine in the woods or working with that machine in the woods, especially with it being a zero tail swing or close radius machine. I mean, the way the boom's built and the hoses and piping are ran, it's probably more protected than what it is on my Volvo setup, to be honest with you. I wouldn't have any concerns about that, to be honest with you. Is Hyundai married to a GPS manufacturer yet?
If you're talking about telematics, yes.
Well, I know nothing about that. Who are they set up with?
It would be through Hyundai.
Be through Hyundai?
Yeah. They actually, their telematics system is unreal. It's HiMate. So if you're running a Hyundai right now and you're not set up with HiMate, be another reason to get a hold of me, because you are missing out on a lot. I mean, that's the majority of the time with our rental units. That's kind of how we track it, especially right now, kind of with everything that's going on. It's just easy to hop on there, get an hour update, flip this like a wheel loader, for example, flip you over the auto way to let you know kind of how much material you're moving per day. Little stuff like that kind of goes a long way.
A&B Contractors, he's actually in your territory. He's just south of Bloomington there. Talking about maybe looking for a Mini there.
Yeah, absolutely. And by the way, A&B, I took a quick screenshot. I've got your email.
Yeah, I've met him a few times. He's actually come down and visited. He's a good guy. TF has said the cuss word. herb equipment. I may have went off last live feed about herbs, so we're not going to do that this time. You know, the funny part about that is, I forget what that live feed was on, a Sunday night, I think. And somebody got me fired up, and I went on a rant I probably shouldn't have went on. And I hauled the Volvo machine into Logger Wade's to do a job on Monday. Guess who's sitting out there in the parking lot? Herb equipment. Like, lovely. I got a nice stare down. That's all right.
The guy knew you, huh?
Yeah, well, yeah. Unfortunately, it's hard for me to hide anymore. Yeah. Badger Matt, rent simple with the 140 in the thumb soon. I'm not sure where you're located at, but I got a feeling Tyler may be able to hook you up with that.
I was going to say, I know of a 145 down in Derby.
My hours are coming to an end quick. So, Todd, so Stump Jumper, I think he's referring to Stump Jumper again. He bought a Hyundai, correct me if I'm wrong, Todd, a couple years ago. And I think he recently just bought a Doosan shovel loader. And I think he's made the comment a few times he likes them both, but I think he feels like the Hyundai is a little better piece of equipment. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but yeah, I think that's kind of what I remember. But now, Reco equipment, renting equipment is probably as big as selling equipment for you guys, isn't it?
It is, absolutely.
So you guys got a lot of what I consider semi-specialty equipment.
Yeah, I mean, well, we already covered the material handler stuff, but yeah, we have all kinds of stuff. We have, gosh, I don't even know what my inventory sheet every time I print it off is. I mean, it's thick. We have a lot of specialized equipment for construction, mining, scrap, demolition. I mean, you name it. I guess when it comes down to my side, and this isn't a Reco thing as a whole, but I mean, the most commonly asked question I get on a daily basis is skid steers. Yeah. I just can't do anything with skid steers. I'm kind of tied up, but I mean, anything else we can pretty much tackle for you, including rollers, because Hyundai has their own line of rollers. So. Oh yes, that's going to be something. I may have bought a roller and it may have caught fire the first job. No way, really? I saw that on the. We're going to blame YouTube. It on the new. We're going to blame it on the new guy. Yikes! Zach, I see your comment there. I'll take a Caterpillar. I'm going to make this comment. If anybody is that brand loyal, I think you're making a mistake. I don't care if it's Caterpillar, John Deere, Link-Built, Hyundai, John Deere, who it is. Nobody makes the best equipment across all gamuts of equipment. Everybody's got their strong point and everybody's got their weak point. Within every equipment manufacturer and line of equipment. I think being closed-minded like that will get you in trouble in a heartbeat, and I think you'll miss out on a lot of good pieces of machinery. That's just my opinion. The only reason to ever be married to one brand is if you live on the moon, there's only one dealer up there, and it's Caterpillar. But last I checked, none of us land on the moon or live on the moon or excavating on the moon. So, yeah, whenever it comes to a bulldozer, it's hard for me to buy anything else but a Caterpillar. Whenever it comes to an excavator, I'm not a big fan of them. I'll be honest with you. And that's just kind of my quick little take on that. So. Todd, hitting back to Todd here real quick. I was right. He says he does like his Hyundai a little better than his Doosan up there. But how many machines are you running currently, Todd, that you said were Hyundai? You sent me a message the other day, sent me a message the other day. I was thinking you had 9 of them. And Brandon Elite Earthworks, unless it's Takakuchi. I'm gonna have to actually. Newman Equipment back in the day actually was the Takeuchi dealer for were they really? Indianapolis. Yeah, I think they make awesome skid steers. I may hurt Brandon's feelings whenever I say this. I've never been impressed with their excavators, which goes back to my Caterpillar comment. I think Takeuchi skid steers are probably some of the best on the market. Their excavators are good, but I think there's better out there.
Keith L, I see your comment there, buddy. It would, trust me, it didn't go. It just smoked and. It says Badger Matt. I think he said he's up in PA. He says he couldn't find the rental store up there. I'm sure Tyler will sort that out from you at some point.
Yeah, I'll make sure that I'll try to type my email or my phone number into the comments here shortly. That way, if you guys,
if you and especially after this live feed's over, if you want to comment your information, I'll pin it to the top. If anybody gets on there, they can get. Make sure they can get a hold of you and get any questions asked. So,
here, I'll do that real quick.
Yeah, Brandon, we've talked about that a few times. I think you know how I feel. Whenever I was shopping for a skid steer, it was narrowed down to Takaguchi or a Kubota, and it really just come down to what I found in my price range, and it was a Kubota first. But and I'm not saying they make bad machines. I just not as big a fan of their excavators as I am their skid loaders. There's Tyler's stuff right there. Where's there's he's got 3 160s, 140, and 1 757 loader.
Badger Matt, I just caught yours. Says only rents in Tennessee, North Carolina, and South Carolina. Now we rent out of all of our locations. Our website's recoequip.com.
I'm sure you know the history between Captain Kleeman and Mears. This is how
I've heard that a time.
This is how he became YouTube famous, because he ripped the mirror off my truck and then did oh my goodness, ripped the mirror off my truck and then did a confessional about it. He says one of the big advantages of the Hyundai machines is it's got less mirrors than the Volvo. But it has less mirrors because it has better visibility. So,
work in life, that's a terrible sales pitch. I'll just throw that out there right quick.
What's I'll be the first to admit, I don't know a whole lot about the older Hyundai equipment. And I think some of it may have been hit and miss, but I don't know enough about it to have an opinion on it. Most of what I am familiar with is what we consider the HX series.
Yeah.
What was the one before that? An RX series?
It was like a LC dash 9A.
Yeah.
Which kind of still falls along the lines of the mini side until third quarter of this year. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to talk about that or not, but I mean, it will.
Breaking news right here on Dirt Perfect with Tyler. So, but I mean, it's just what's really cool about this, and it's almost unbelievable, is I did those videos on buying these machines, and I think I have the 2 machines I was looking at buying in my possession, being able to work. So it's, whenever I sat in those machines and operated them on the sales lot, it's hard to tell a whole lot from that, but there's things I noticed from just experience of operating them. And then you actually put them into work and kind of confirm all that is just pretty cool.
Yeah, no, definitely. It's,
Tyler, no, the man behind the scenes, that's who's blowing up my phone right now. He's got ice bucket quarantine challenge going on. I'm gonna go get. It's either that or I gotta give him 2 rolls of toilet paper and a pack of beer. So I'll tell you what's gonna happen, Matt. It's gonna be breaking news right here. His 2 rolls of toilet paper is gonna be in the trees in his front yard, and his case of beer is gonna be busted all over his garage floor.
Hey,
give him a warning.
No rules to the game.
Rules on that. He's gonna pull that.
Needs to have a disclaimer at the bottom.
Oh man. So Chris mentioned something there about a progressive link thumb. One thing about having this machine in my possession is it confirmed me being steadfast in all my options I wanted on the other machine, as far as the progressive link thumb and the wider track shoes and the blade and stuff. There is no doubt the machine I have and the way it's set up is it's got its place. It's just not necessarily with what I do. The flip side of that is the one video you've seen as far as the retaining wall. I mean, it was nice.
I know it. Yeah.
So
that was impressive.
Yeah, it's Joey Reardon. Go to you can email me at info@dirtperfect1.com. I'll see if I can comment that. Is the best way to get a hold of me. So yeah, it's but yeah, the progressive link thumb, the long stick machine, the pin grabber coupler, 28-inch pads, the push blade. I am so glad I shopped for 2 years to find that, because what I do on a daily basis, all those things come into play. I had a job I was going to do with the Hyundai. It was actually for Farmer Chris, pulling some trees off a creek, and I had to abandon ship on it because I just couldn't stay up. There was no way I could have stayed up where I was able to work a full day in the rain down there with the Volvo because of the setup on it. And if you're just doing straight up demo work, the thumb setup on that machine would be fine.
That's what that machine came from.
Yeah, if you're just doing straight demo work, the thumb on that machine would be fine. Whenever you're doing clearing and cleanup and other stuff, you find yourself, because of the progressive link thumb, that thumb follows that bucket all the way around. Mm-hmm. With the Hyundai, and it's not Hyundai's fault. It's just the type of thumb it's on.
Right.
It don't follow it very far, and you find yourself moving and tracking a lot more because you're always trying to get into that work area.
Yeah, Brian, to answer your question, yes, those are steel pads that you may have seen on Mike's video, but it does come with 24. That specific machine comes with 24, 28-inch triple grouser steel tracks. The no wedge pin grabber, which for the minis is unreal to find a bucket for. John Deere pretty much has that locked down. And
we'll hit on this in the video. I don't care for the control, the pin grabber coupler quite as much as the Volvo, but the actual coupler itself I like a lot better. I think they're made by the same person. I don't know that for sure. But
which coupler is on that machine? Is it Esco or Esco?
I think it is, which I think is who makes Volvos. But the way they operate is completely different. The safety mechanism on it's completely different. And the one on the Hyundai machine works a lot better than the one on my Volvo. It's just not near as contrary, I guess is the best way to put it. With my Volvo machine, it's got to be in a certain position, and you got to have the code typed in just right to get it to release. But with the Hyundai, it seems to be a lot more forgiving about where you're at. But the bucket, the thumb, the coupler, we should point these out. They're all options. They're all attachments you put on it. So if you're going to buy one of these machines new, you could spec it out with a pin grabber coupler or a progressive link coupler or certain pads, I guess. I know one of the obstacles that you and I had to overcome whenever we were looking at buying a machine is all your machines with blades had rubber tracks. Yeah,
it was a pretty popular time at the moment. It was kind of when that was right after ConExpo. Before everything kind of let loose.
Yeah.
And that the 145 machine is extremely popular. We quote those a lot, all the time, usually. But yeah, that's just what trying to find everything with the thumb and
well,
along
that's
those lines is
where
what we
I
had to choose.
got. I mean, I don't know if lucky is the word, but I mean, literally, I shopped for 2.5 years to find that Volvo, and it literally checked all the boxes. And we got close. We got really close. So, Rogue, what's up, man? Got you a new 210G John Deere. Awesome.
Today, huh?
I just seen Todd up there. Todd commented that he used to run all Hitachi excavators, and then he switched over in 2007 to Hyundai's, and bought another round in 2014. So he must really like them.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Southern Dirt has a Cat 308, and we've talked to him a few times. He's got a lot of the same complaints about that 308 I have about my 304. And I mentioned this to you, Tyler. I think the next machine I'm probably going to upgrade is going to be my 304.
Yeah.
Get a new Mini X. Josh, the side guard railing on the Volvo, yes, I do absolutely love that. I'm pretty sure it saved me a window the other day. Me and that poor Volvo, let me tell you. I've dropped more trees on it in 6 months than I dropped on that John Deere in 8 years. I was talking to you on the phone the other day, and I dropped one on top of it. Oh, Captain Cleveland, whose side you on here, buddy? Are you paying for half of it? No, I was doing that clearing job for Chris down there, and I was going on the edge of the field, tucking some trees back, and sure enough, I swung around, and there was a steel fence post drove right in the ground, which is actually a property marker. You couldn't see it was in the weeds.
Right.
And I heard that thing smack that side rail, so I quit. And if I would have kept going or didn't hear that, I'm pretty sure it would have been in my lower windshield. So I don't try to use them, but they are handy whenever you need them. So
yeah.
Brandon, how are you? David, what's didn't like the 320F? SOT Metalworks. There's my man. We got you remember SOT Metalworks? He was up there in Louisville with us.
Oh yeah, yep. I caught. I didn't get a chance to watch the whole thing, but I caught bits and pieces. What was that, Saturday night?
Yes, he was live with me Saturday night.
Yep.
He gave my wife, Mrs. Dirt Perfect, a shout out for her channel, and so we got him on because I made her day. Cleveland, I don't know if anybody, you got a video on this, Cleveland. I sent Cleveland on a suicide mission, hauling the Volvo into a driveway where I'm pretty sure the 304 wouldn't fit. He got a good video out of it. That's all that matters.
Hey, real quick, Joy Reardon mentioned an Incon on your 336. Those things are unbelievable. And you ran one at IQ. Unfortunately, couldn't do it at Con Expo, but
we tried.
Those things are unreal. One thing I would mention is, I haven't looked at WorkBrow's website in a while, but you even checked out their new tilt rotator that WorkBrow has coming out. Maybe something to consider.
Yeah, that new WorkBrow tilt rotator. I don't know how expensive it is to work on, but the mechanics of how it's built is pretty slick. I was very impressed with the way it was built. Here's my take on those things is, boy, would I love to have one. There's so many advantages of them. I haven't found a way to justify the cost on one yet. Maybe one of these days. And if you ever send me one to demo, I'm probably gonna have to end up buying it. So just don't do that.
I don't think I've ever seen one kind of out and about when, me meeting up with people at different jobs and stuff like that. But
we're very, very, very popular overseas. But
yes,
for some reason, Joy says she'll have the biggest one in the United States. For some reason, they're not as popular over here. My buddy Brett Lettering, you know him.
Yep.
They bought one for that 245G John Deere.
Mm-hmm.
They've got.
I think it's an Oil Quick, right?
Yeah, I don't remember the brand of it. I'm not for sure. Jared was up there in Louisville with us. He's the one that turned excavator soccer into excavator golf, and he putted the ball across the.
I think that was an 80. I believe it was an 80 IQ.
That was a pretty smooth machine too, because I mean, obviously I won. I still got my excavator on right here.
Yeah.
So still back here. Yeah, Farmer Chris, he's been eyeballing a tilt rotator in a 3-yard bucket because he wants to use it to load turkey manure, where he can shove it in the pile and then rotate around and dump it in there.
Yep.
What Hyundai attachments would fit in your skid steer? I don't think any Hyundai attachments would fit in my skid steer, to be honest with you. Southern Dirt, do you have a steel wrist or did you rent one? I need to go back and check that out.
Farmer Chris, I swear you were there at the work brow booth looking at their new tilt rotator.
Yeah, I think it was in my one video, random things from Con Expo.
Mm-hmm.
I think I got some. So Rogue is in Canada, and he said he's never even seen a Hyundai up there. I'm sure they're up there somewhere.
Yeah. We do a lot with Hitachi and Liebherr in Canada. So
excavator buckets and brands. My favorite bucket that I have is a PSM bucket, and it has everything to do with the shape of it. Esco buckets seem to be pretty tough buckets. I don't know much about the work brow buckets. I'd say they make everything they make's pretty good. And the bucket I have that I love, it's not the brand of it, it's just the shape of it. Is what I really like about it. SOT Metalworks is going to make me go there. So I don't know. That's a good question. We'll let Brandon comment on that. Brandon's still on here. Yeah, Arnold, he said he's in Canada and rents a Hyundai. So I will have to say, whenever we were down there at Ritchie Brothers Auctions, we were down there at Ritchie Brothers Auctions. There was like miles and miles of John Deere and Caterpillar and Volvo and Doosan and Sandy excavators. I bet you out of 10,000 excavators, there was 4 Hyundais. It was
only 4.
Yeah.
Wow.
There was very, very few down there. So to fill everybody in here, I don't think it's a big secret. And Brandon, I hope I'm not letting the cat out of the bag here, but Brandon bought a brand new TB290 mini excavator. What is that? It'll be like a 14,000 pound machine. I think it's pretty equivalent to my 304. And he's probably got 500-600 hours on it. And Takakuchi treated him well, but he had to have the hydraulic pump in it replaced. Hydraulic pump went out. And I guess they had it sized for a different machine or something. But I think he's up and going again. Brian, the Dirt Perfect trenching bucket that thing is getting ready to put in about 3 or 4 mile of pipe here in the next week. 260. Sorry, Brandon, 260. Hopefully I got that story right. If I didn't get that story right, correct me. 13,000. That was a pretty close guess. But all right, Aaron Boom, I know you're watching this, and I'm not dumping water on my head in the middle of this live feed. Get that on your head. I got a silent button for you, buddy. Right there, you're off. David, I'm getting off my subject. So they got him a new pump. I guess the pump was set wrong or something, and it was overheating the hydraulics and lost the pump. But they got him going again. Have I operated a 320F? Yes. There's so much stuff going on there. It's hard to get into much detail about that, to be honest with you. The pump was turned up too high, so it was pulling the engine down, causing heat, and then he lost the pump. How many hours you got on that machine, Brandon? You got around 500 or 600, don't you?
Was that something set from the factory, or something that could be adjusted?
So from what we've gathered, and we're doing a little bit of assuming here, so you know how assuming goes, but we're thinking they use the same pump on multiple different machines.
Oh, okay.
That pump was set for a different machine, and caused some problems. $700 on. Now, Brandon, on the other hand, he's got a 250 Takakuchi skid loader, and I think he's got close to 8,000 hours on it. Ooh. So yeah, he's had really good luck out of that thing. I think my 304's got 3,400 hours on it, maybe.
3,400.
Yeah.
Original tracks.
Until next week.
Oh, you said you weren't going to change them until they broke off.
Well, stay tuned.
Oh. All right. Breaking news.
7,700. You're getting close to that 8,000 mark. Casey, how are you? I'm going to do a pretty in-depth video on that because I should have changed those tracks about 1,200 hours ago. So, and I've got 1,200 hours out of those tracks. So that's a lot of income and a lot of money over tracks that most people just would have thrown in the scrap pile a long time ago. Of course, I do my own maintenance and have the track sitting here. It's not a big deal to change a track. It don't cost me a whole lot of downtime. But yeah, the metal bar, the track hasn't broke, but the metal bars are starting to come out of it. So it's yeah, Captain Kleeman, he's the beginning of the end of the tracks. We'll blame it on him. I can't blame it on him. It's part of it. Those tracks, yeah, they've got 3,400 hours on them. They're factory tracks. And the guy before me did concrete demo, and he was.
I bet. I've seen some demolition jobs.
Yeah.
It's tough work.
I know. I couldn't believe it. I was glad I almost had it on video. That poor machine I got, it had like 177 hours when I got it, and it was scratched up all down one side. I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, at least I'm gonna be the first one to scratch it.
Yeah. Yep. No comment. Hey, I got a question. So I with the cat excavators, I see quite a few people commenting here and there with I guess any of the Tier 4 final stuff. What are you guys running into as far as DPF, the diesel particulate filter issues? And part two of that question is, how often do you find yourself down in order to maintenance that?
Well, I've only got one machine that's got DEF on it, or DPF, and if you guys watch a few of my videos, you've seen it throwing codes. I've been down. I was able to limp my way through them for the most part, but mine actually had to do with the armature in the DEF tank. I guess it reads the concentrate level of the DEF, because different DEFs, different concentrates, and it's got to know that concentrate level to dose properly.
Right.
So it was, yeah, throwing stuff up, but I don't know. It's definitely aggravating for sure, and I think every manufacturer has some issue to some extent. Some more or less than the others. Now, the machine I got's got the Perkins engine in it, and the Perkins engine is made by Caterpillar. And if you look on the DEF tank in that Hyundai machine, it says Caterpillar on it. So the as far as the Perkins setup in the Hyundai machine, I may be way off base in this. I think it's pretty similar to a Caterpillar setup. And somebody may get mad at me for saying that, but I think that's the way it is. Now, whenever you go to Cummins, it's going to be a whole different setup.
Right, yeah, completely different setup. I haven't been, what is Cat's equivalent, 314, 315?
Yeah, Cat has Cat's numbers on and John Deere kind of got that way a little bit too with like the 135. Their numbers on those machines got a little goofy. The 135 and the 314 Cat is almost too small for me, where the 145s are about right. I seen somebody asked about the 120 rebuild. Unfortunately, summer silly season is hit, and the 120 rebuild is it's kind of on hold right now. I hope to get rolling on it again. One thing about having the Honda excavator on demo is proved to me how valuable having two machines is going to be, and I really need to get that 120 up and going again. So I got that. I got that second machine.
Kind of going full circle here. I don't need any lawyer from Caterpillar calling me, but the reason why I ask is just because. So I see DPF pressure sensor issue. I guess the reason why I ask is because I've heard, kind of going around and talking to different people, Hyundai, with the exception of maybe one or two of their bigger wheel loaders, does not run any type of DPF.
No, you got was it the SCR system?
Yeah, SCR, EGR, and DOC, which basically, I mean, keep working. No need to stop. Does a regen by itself. To me, it just seems like it makes a lot of sense. But
yeah, I understand the basis of it, but until this Volvo and now being around the Hyundai, I haven't been forced to learn it because I never had a machine with it. So I'm kind of behind the curve getting caught up. Captain Kleeman brings up a good question, and I'm pretty sure I know the answer to it. Currently, the 145 has the Perkins in it, but that's going to change Cummins at some point, correct?
Yeah. With I don't know the exact date. I actually have a conference call tomorrow with some more information on that, but Hyundai is going to be full line Cummins. I'm not 100% sure, but it should be kind of everything from their rollers, loaders, excavators, even new material handlers that they're coming out with.
The Heavy Wrench asked how much DEF per gallon of fuel. I don't know. I'd have to go look in the monitor to find out DEF per fuel ratio. But the Hyundai definitely uses less DEF than the Volvo does. I can tell you that. I wouldn't say it's a life-changing amount different, but in 30 hours of running that, I've used less than a quarter of a tank. And in 30 hours on the Volvo, I've used over a half a tank. The Volvo definitely, and that may have had something to do with that armature not being right and overdosing. But I have put several, I have ran a tank of fuel through that Volvo since they fixed it. And it still seems to be using about the same amount. So I'd say the Hyundai's got a beat on the amount of DEF it uses. I think you read the same comment. What's the worst rental story? You don't have to use names.
Oh man, that's I haven't had one yet, believe it or not. I started with Reco back in May of last year. Let's see. I can't. That's a great question. We'll revisit that at a later date. I would say probably the worst that I've had right now is, and I don't know how many people from Hyundai are listening. I'm hoping none, but I was riding around with my rep one day, and we went up to a job site where it was I want to say it was a HX210. So they're basically 21-ton excavator. And it was on a demolition job, and this operator was just slamming down with the bucket teeth on this concrete to just break it up. And it was maybe 3 months in. I turned around and I looked over at my Hyundai rep, and he was just looking at it, and he was like, I don't even want to know the idea of that machine. We turned around and walked away. And I mean, it was so hard. Like the front, the tracks were coming off the ground. So.
Kyle Service is
good story.
Interesting comment. 9 Hyundai excavators and no DEF problems. That's impressive.
Beautiful. That's perfect.
That's impressive. Captain Cleveland. Oh boy. That boy's a mess. So we're going to probably wrap this up here real quick. I just want to hit on a few things. So the purpose of this live feed, after this live feed's over, if you guys want any information from Tyler, he'll have his information in the comments. So get a hold of him. Even if they're not in your territory, you can get them to the right people. And then we're going to do a comparison video Friday. So comment down below. Let us know. Let us know if there's anything. We want to make sure we get everything covered. No, it's not a closed center hydraulic system no more. It's pilot control open center system. The other thing, a couple things I want to hit on here real quick. I will cover this more in some future videos, and I will try to get links in the description. But we're going to, if you guys want to see the videos before anybody else sees the videos, you need to go like Hyundai of America's Facebook page or Instagram page, because they will probably be releasing the videos a day or two before I release them on my channel. So get over there and like Hyundai of America Instagram or Facebook, and comment down below. Tell them Dirt Perfect sent you. That won't hurt anything at all. And the first Hyundai video will be coming out. Drum roll, please. I got to get my schedule out here. May 15th. So if they go to one of Susan's sites, they will probably get to see that on May 13th or 14th. So get over there and check that out. And huge thanks to Tyler for doing the live feed, for setting up this whole thing. Huge thanks to everybody that watches the channel. I mean, if you guys didn't watch and interact with the channel, I'd never even have the opportunity to do this. So that's awesome. And yeah, huge thanks to Hyundai. They played a part in making this happen too. So, but yeah, Tyler's going to come down. We're going to keep our social distance. We're going to do go over
6 feet.
Go over both machines very thoroughly. And I feel like now that I've ran them, I've got a pretty good feel for both machines, and we'll go from there. So, guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for interacting on the live feed. Thanks for Tyler for joining us. And
hey, take care. Thank you all.
Yep. Comment down below if there's anything you want us to cover. And if you guys got any questions for Tyler, comment, and he'll get back with you too. So we're going to head on out of here. Good night, everybody.
We'll see ya.